Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto's News in a brand new location. Hopefully, everything is fine. I am streaming for the first real time from my normal setup on Odysee. And it's been just a crazy last few days as I try to figure out exactly where I'm going to be. So that's the title of this video. Like, see, I have the live chat up here because previously my entire stream has been set up for YouTube. So I've had the live chat linked to YouTube. I have the settings linked to YouTube. The way that I normally operate, everything is linked to YouTube. So it's basically the standard since I've been doing videos on YouTube for the last 6 years. But now I have to try to figure something else out because I've been banned from YouTube. So I did make a brand new YouTube channel. And I'm still considering whether I'm going to be using that and starting from scratch to try to get some sort of monetization going, to try to get my following going again, or whether I go to Hive and 3speak. But I'm finding out now that I can't just use 3speak. For example, if you go over to the 3speak, oh, there's the chat again. If you go over to the 3speak site and you try to click on the live stream tab, it says here, oh, everything looks like you'll be able to live stream, show stream key. You can enter a title, but when you go to show stream key, nothing happens. So I was chatting with someone, a member of the 3speak community, and they told me that basically it does not work here. So you can't actually stream on here. So that's news to me. I thought maybe I could stream there. So it looks like Odysee will probably have to be my home. But Odysee hasn't been exactly the easiest either, because when I try to set up a stream, it takes a while for it to confirm. So I can't just be like, oh, it's time to go, let's hit that live stream right away. It took me something like 10 minutes for it to start, which isn't an obscene amount of time, but compared to YouTube, it's kind of a lifetime. Thank you so much, Tom. But at least I can stream on Odysee, and at least I have all my videos backed up on Odysee. And at least I have some sort of audience here. And I can still link this to Twitter or other locations where I can get people to click on it and show up. The issue I have also is that a lot of people are just used to YouTube. So a lot of people are used to getting their notifications via YouTube. They have their YouTube Premium subscription, and that's what they want to use. And they don't like to use anything outside of YouTube. And it's the same for all the platforms. Like, I've had a lot of the 3speak people tell me, well, I've never subscribed to your YouTube channels since you lost the last one. I've been here on 3speak, and it's nice to have you here. This is where I watch your videos. And it's probably the same thing for Odysee as well, where there are folks who have just been waiting for my uploads to end up here on my main page. So I'm just right now trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do, because I have to figure out how to, again, reach people, how to have some sort of opportunity for monetization in the future. And I mean, the importance of free speech does matter. Like, why exactly did I lose my YouTube channel is completely unclear. I mean, I was trying to cover it on Twitter. Let's see. Let's go over my profile. Maybe you guys could check it out and see what's going on there. Oh man, what a disaster. What a surprise. Anyway, my channel has been terminated by YouTube for purportedly violating policies on spam, scam, and misleading content, when all I do is aggregate relevant cryptocurrency news, pertinent topics, etc. And after a careful review, they decided my channel had indeed, according to Team YouTube, violated those things. So I basically lost all my efforts and all my work there. But on Odysee, all my videos are still here. So there's that. Now, I'm fine being like an annoying fly and making another one and then just popping up there on YouTube again, if that's where people want to see, because at the end of the day, my primary goal is to serve people. And if that's where people prefer to see things, then that's where I think I want to be. And I did run a poll, and it looks like YouTube was on top. It was always on top during this poll. It was over 60% at one point, but you had some of the communities like 3speak start hearing about what was going on with my situation and come out in huge support and start upvoting this to make sure that I go to 3speak, or that's what they would prefer to watch me. And Odysee as well was up there. It was second to YouTube for a while before falling behind 3speak. So it's not like it's a small number there. We had 651 votes. Still 2 hours left if you do want to participate in the poll. But it was more for me to understand really where people wanted to see me. And it looks like YouTube is the primary place that people want to see me. But at the same time, do I really want to be dedicating, again, so much effort and so much time primarily to the platform that can destroy me centralized, basically erase me? And I think the answer is that I don't want to make that my focus anymore. I no longer want that to be the focus of my crypto career. And if anything, this is giving me a huge amount of fire to really start to continue the original mission, really, the central ethos, which is that these centralized players are very damaging to society, and it's time to move beyond them, right, into this idea of Web 3.0. And so I've been exploring some of these platforms. Another one was Rumble that was being brought up, but Rumble is apparently extremely centralized. DTube doesn't have many people watching it at all. Vim.tv looks like it's the same thing. What you see with some of these other platforms is that some of the content creators, what they're doing is basically using something like Restream to push to different platforms at the same time as a way to get it out to a bigger amount of viewers, as a way to have repositories across different sites, as a way to monetize across different, for whatever purpose. But really, I'm trying to figure out what is the difference between all of these rather than just spitting out across all of them. And so far, it's hard to say that there's an absolute winner. I mean, YouTube's major problem is just the fact that you had Google buy them, and Google is obviously not for the small-time content creator, because YouTube originally, if you don't know, wasn't created by Google. It was bought by them. And slowly they've tightened the grips and made it less for people like me and yourself likely, and more for the Oprah Winfreys, more for the networks to really be ahead of everybody else. And it frankly sucks that YouTube has gone this direction. I really love seeing like Odysee and 3speak and seeing how they do just allow anyone with a voice who has something to say to get to the top. Nowadays, that's just not likely to happen. If you're trying to grow a channel, it's very unlikely that you'll be able to make it without getting some sort of ban or strike or something like that. And having to start again from just 0 subscribers up, I can see the difficulties again, whereas I didn't have to, since my original channel had gotten to 120K subs since 2016, and things were just a little bit freer when I started, and slowly and slowly they've become less and less free and have had less and less opportunities for the average person. Hey, much love, be mindful of love. Thank you so much for making it out here. And you know what? It's awesome that you took whatever extra effort it took for you to show up here. And that to me shows that people still want to see content. People still want to see cryptocurrency news. We've got 10 people currently watching, which is not bad, when my new YouTube channel was doing on average like Well, we had finally gotten to like 32 concurrent viewers in the live streams. Again, starting from nothing. It had started with something like 15 concurrent viewers when I relaunched. Then I went up to 20, got up to 30, and then bam. It really sucked. But it's nice to see that we're already 11 on a platform that's substantially smaller than YouTube. And honestly, I would prefer to see these platforms grow. I would like to see them get more feedback to work on what users want to see, because to me, what it looks like is they do care about what users have to say and making the platform better for both the content eaters, the people that eaters, the digesters, those who just digest content, or lurkers or whatever, and those who create the content, and they want it to be a great platform. And for me, I want it to be a great platform for the viewers. That comes first, right? I want it to be high quality. I want there to be very little lag. I want there to be a wonderful chat experience that can happen here on the side. I want there to be monetization opportunities that are not controlled by players who want to wait for you to hit some sort of arbitrary metric and to be part of their partner program, right? Where you're still basically getting gypped and they're getting so much of the money and so much of the revenue, when there are fair distribution models for value, and ones that will probably exist longer than the fiat ones that already exist. So that's what I'm currently trying to explore and getting into right now. And of course, it means that I'm covering less of what's going on with Ethereum and Bitcoin and everything else. But if you guys want, we can go ahead. If you guys want, we can go ahead and take a look. But it's just really nice to think that at least on some of these platforms, like here on Odysee, I can pretty much say whatever I want to. And if I say Tornado Cash, ooh, maybe that's why I got banned. I know that some bigger channels had covered Tornado Cash and what was going on with that. But again, when you're a bigger channel, you get better support from YouTube teams. When you're just paltry me starting over again from the beginning, it looks like you're a nobody. You have no economy around your channel. They don't care about you. They just brush you aside completely. And it's basically just bots seemingly that are making all these sort of arbitrary decisions, because I definitely was not spamming. I was not spamming the same video over and over, or creating content that was not relevant or anything like that. I certainly wasn't scamming folks and telling people to get either into my liquidity pools or to get into the new yield opportunities that are the new Celsiuses. No, I was just covering news, talking about those situations. Maybe the hashtags saying Tornado Cash, maybe the titles, maybe reading about sanctions, seeing that this is a crypto channel, and crypto is something that's kind of a bad word in the mainstream right now. Like, someone was telling me that instead I should use distributed ledger technology, and I should instead say that my channel is about distributed ledger technology. That was Corey Petty. Shout out to Corey Petty of the Bitcoin podcast. He had one of the earliest and definitely best Bitcoin podcasts ever. But yeah, he was telling me, yeah, it's because you're saying crypto maybe, and it's kind of a derogatory word these days, especially during bear markets. So yeah, maybe I will see more refined if I use distributed ledger technology whenever I'm speaking. But you know what? At least on this platform where I'm at right now, if you're watching me on Odysee, I don't have to worry about that. And you know what? I will also take this video and I'll share it on YouTube. I did start the new YouTube channel, like I said, and I don't know if I can add that to the description after here. I have one subscriber who managed to find me, but the channel is just Omar Bham. It's just my name, basically. And it has like one video, yesterday's video up there. It wasn't anything extra beyond what you might have seen already on the platform. But yeah, it's nice to feel like I can speak a little bit more liberally, because especially in these kind of stream of consciousness talks, it allows me to flow better without interruptions. And I think that allows the content to be present and allows me to bullshit less. I don't have to fill it or change words and substitute them. I can just speak from my heart and from my mind. And I think that does matter, and that does change the quality. And that allows me to be real. A lot of this is just that we show up here together. That's why I like to be live with you. I like to give you prescient information at that moment, wherever that moment may be. But we can get that if you're able to join the live streams and have that option, or you're available that day. You can show up here. You can ask questions in the chat. You can participate with me and leave little comments here. And that's a special thing. So I don't want to be letting that go. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that again on 3speak looking at it. I don't want to use Rumble. So it looks like for now, my only options are YouTube, the new YouTube channel, which again, I could get banned at any point for whatever arbitrary reason, because apparently covering cryptocurrency news is scammy, because cryptocurrency is overall a Ponzi scheme. And I think all this to me just shows how that is not at all what all this is about. It's not just about the money and the value, although it's a piece of it, just like everything else. You follow anything and the root of it tends to be money. when it comes to people's motivations, unless it's something, altruistic or something religious or something, I guess, sexual or something, what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, a lot of what drives people's actions, and unless it's, something lazy or whatever, usually has something to do with money, because that's how we put food on the table. That's how we spare up time to have hobbies. That's how we put a shelter over our head. It does have to do with money, and money is time, right? So if I'm spending time on a platform, it's not just completely because crypto is my hobby. Although, again, I find it extremely important, the work that I'm doing here, exposing this crap and how it's dangerous to have a channel on one of those platforms. But it's nice to know that I can also earn something. And 3speak seems so far like it's the best opportunity for that right now. I don't have to wait to join some sort of partnership program. Unfortunately, it looks like the library credits have just become more and more difficult to acquire, at least in the United States. I'm not sure if you have some other information on that. But apparently there are also fiat supporting options. Maybe if you hit that support option, does that work? Somebody told me that there are ways to support with fiat and tip here on Odysee. So really, I'm trying to see the pros and cons of where I'm going to be spending my time for the longer road here. And it might just be that I have to live stream on YouTube, because that's where most people do want to see my content, and then take those videos and upload them afterwards to 3speak and upload them to Odysee as well, because I want them to continue to be backed up. That might be my best option. And then maybe over time, YouTube doesn't delete that channel and maybe I get monetized there as well. It's not a huge amount of money. Even yesterday, for example, with 3speak, if you actually go over to 3speak, let's see if we can do this. You'll see that I was just lucky. Yeah, I made a few bucks. I got really, really lucky. And thanks so much for the 3speak community there, coming out and trying to embrace me. And I've been a member of Hive since the beginning, basically, like a month after Steemit came out, which eventually forked into Hive, which 3speak is a derivative of. It's just like the video arm of Hive. I've been there for a long time, and I've met some amazing individuals, and through all of this, I've realized that they really hardcore care about freedom. They hardcore care about new economies of scale, creating communities that cannot be banned, especially right now when we're entering crypto, the you fight us era, where it's no longer viable enough of them for them, the cabals, the centralized cabals of economics, of corporations who were eating their lunch right now. It's not enough for them to just laugh at us or ignore us. Now they basically have to fight us. That's what we're seeing with Tornado Cash. Maybe that's what we're seeing with my channel, except now I can't really make as much of a stink. I can't really get my channel back at all, but it would appear. But my point is that they're trying to control some sort of narrative and to allow for feeds like this to exist where they're more grassroots. Yeah, there's some sort of economics, of course, and there are whales. But from what I find, the whales, the best way for them to accrue value to their own token and their own influence on the platforms is to do what's right for the platform, which in this sense is to allow for free speech, to allow for better incentivization models, to attract more people to the platform, to buy more of the token, to stake it, to get a reward. So I don't know if it's still the same. It's been a while since I've kept up, and maybe you guys can fill me in there. But yeah, I was lucky. My point is I was lucky to earn a few bucks there, just to wrap that up. But that doesn't mean it's going to be consistent, right? I'm not likely to be earning that amount of money every single time. So it just seems like there might be some sort of cap, unless, of course, the platform continues to grow, which is what I've been seeing since 2016. I've basically been seeing this platform continue blowing up. And it's been the same thing with Odysee as well, which was previously Library. Around the same time, I was using it. And it was that thing, oh, should I risk uploading to these other platforms completely, right? Well, back then you couldn't upload native video to Steemit or anything, but I was sharing my YouTube videos. But should I spend my time on Library uploading my videos there when it just might not exist for some sort of reason? But at this point, even after a battle with the SEC, Odysee still exists. I think it's fair to say that this platform is here to stay. And if considering their success really with some of the court hearings recently and what's been going on, I mean, I can't see why Library shouldn't be listed on more exchanges and reopen on exchanges as all this clears up. And that could, of course, give value back to this token, and that attracts community as well. But I mean, it continues to tick off just fine. It looks like the founders just really are focused on making this successful. And that's something that I like to see from the platforms that I'm on. So really, I have all these thoughts just constantly running through my head, and so much people are telling me, and I'm trying to figure out exactly where to go. And I want to know from you guys what you think I should be doing from your own side. If you could leave me some sort of comment here on Odysee or on Hive if you watch this there later on, where I'll upload it, or you watch it on YouTube on the new YouTube channel, which again, I guess I can show you guys where it's at. What is it? Let's go to YouTube. I don't know if it's up here actually. I haven't even logged in. Yeah, I haven't logged in on this computer. But I will be posting that in the description down below if you want to follow me there. But again, it's hard for me right now to just promote the YouTube because it seems like such a fleeting, pointless thing to do. What's the link to 3speak? Oh, that's that one I can share. It's 3speak.tv. I can write here in the chat. Let me write here. 3speak.tv/user/crypto. That should take you there. Let me know if you have any sort of issues. But yeah, I wanted to make this more of a casual chat and see what you guys have to say, and just let you know what's going on here. And I think it's an important topic right now because I mean, with Google, it was originally where you had Google kind of, and it continues to be the case, deciding what we as a society deem to be true. Because most people don't click beyond the first page results when they search for something on Google search. And now it's basically the same thing when it's Google search on YouTube, where whatever views Google, YouTube, or the algorithm wants us to see is what ends up at the top. And that tends to be what permeates more throughout society and most people deem to be true at face value without fact checking. Like when do you see fact checking taking place on Twitter or crypto Twitter anymore, for example? It just doesn't happen. So it's important that we find other ways to get content out there and to get different views. And that's really what I like about 3speak as well and Hive, is that you can create your own community there. Like I remember when Leo Finance came out, it's the biggest community there on 3speak, and I remember getting behind it early on, and to see it grow and become so successful has been extremely rewarding for me. And to see that so many other communities are also doing the same, and you can do the same thing yourself. There's just so much that needs to happen still. There's so much work that needs to take place to reach more and more people. One thing that I heard about today is that there apparently, and this is really cool, is that when I post my stuff on 3speak, it automatically gets turned on some of these new futuristic podcast sites that exist. Like there's a podcast index. I lost the link right now, but somebody had tweeted it out to me earlier on. Let me see. Maybe I can find that while I talk. But no, it was a while ago. I'm getting a lot of engagement right now. Oh no, there it is. There it is. I'll show you guys. But this is really cool. What it automatically does is take my videos and turns them into a podcast automatically that anybody can listen to. So all my content exists already. I had no idea about this on a podcast. You can go to like podcastindex.org and just type in a podcast. I don't know. And all of my podcasts have been there, like the Crypto Plug podcast that I did with my brother, Crypto's News, all my stuff looks to be there. And even the new 3speak podcast is already on there. So that's pretty nice. Well, yeah. Oh, there's only 6 episodes. Okay, I guess not all my videos have been pushed there, but someone seems to have done it. I don't know how this exactly works, but this is not the only one. There are different indexes like this that are taking content and turning into a podcast, making it easy and allowing for more people to reach them. And from my understanding too, some of these, what they do is that they use micropayments. So the longer someone listens to it, the more money small amounts of money, like in Lightning Network, get taken out of their account and get automatically turned into Hive tokens and get pushed to me. So that's a way for me to earn just from viewing as well, and for the user to contribute to content they like without having to take too many extra steps, and to support new Web 3.0 models without so many hungry sharks in the center of things. So there's so much going on here, so much to explore, and I think now I've at least been given the opportunity and forced to have the opportunity to learn a little bit more about where we're at in this fight about the importance of decentralized social media, distributed ledger social media technology. I do want to be able to come back here, and I really want to know where my main followers prefer to see me. That is primarily the Patreon supporters, who are still just they've been here for me regardless, whether it's that channel or this channel, and have promised to be. So I really care mostly about my hardcore viewers, those who've been around the longest. Where do they prefer to see the content? What would be easiest for them? But for now, I think what I'm going to be doing again is probably live streaming on YouTube, what it seems like, or Odysee. It's between Odysee or YouTube and spitting that out to Hive, which honestly I would have preferred to be the #1 place that I would live stream. But right now it's just not an easy option, or it doesn't seem to be a viable option on 3speak. Although I'll natively upload video files probably to 3speak when I finish. Anyway, I'll finish with that. There's other cryptocurrency news that's been going on. Of course, the Tornado Cash developer being arrested by Dutch authorities yesterday. That's a big one. Tornado Cash is just the main topic of the week, where Tornado Cash, if you don't know, is a mixing service on Ethereum. It takes tokens that you might want to mix with other tokens to get the same amount back, but now their history has been hidden. You might do that if you are a money launderer, right? But apparently that is some sort of subset of the users, but not the majority of users who are using Tornado Cash for that purpose. But you could be like a Vitalik Buterin and some sort of whale who wants to hide how much Bitcoin they have. They don't want to be tracked that much, so they might be using that service. But it's the first time that we've ever had a sanction, a complete ban from the US government on some sort of technology, on some sort of piece of software, right? It wasn't on some sort of team primarily or some sort of user, although now the DAO for Tornado Cash are apparently down, the Discord has been down, the GitHub is down. It's a full frontal assault on a piece of software that was developed in an open source fashion. The developer has been arrested, and this is really scary when you think about other things on GitHub, when you think about other decentralized projects, when you can have even a private mixing service like this, just have such an assault from a centralized, from the country, from some sort of nation. It goes to show the power of truly distributed communities. Like someone was telling me about how when Hive first split from Steemit, that there was a cease and desist sent to Hive that was trying to force them to stop from a Vancouver company. And basically Hive, they had to drop the case against Hive because Hive, there was no one that could be pointed at to show that that was the person running Hive, or that one thing, that one group was running Hive, because it truly was decentralized. Yeah, this is March 2020. Hive blockchain requests cease and desist from new Steem community hard fork using same name. Vancouver, Canada. Hive Blockchain Technologies, Hive, announced today that its legal representation has requested that a new blockchain cease and desist from using the same name, Hive and Hive Blockchain, for its new hard fork of the Steem blockchain. In response to multiple shareholder inquiry. Anyway, they wanted to keep the name Hive, but nobody could really stop Hive from keeping that name because there was no one to send that exact letter to. There was no one to directly sue. And that's the power of having something that's distributed and that cannot really be stopped. That is good for the user. I want to see good platforms come out. And I think that's extremely important for us to get into right now. I haven't checked out the 3speak desktop app, Be Mindful of Love. But maybe somebody can help answer that question. How do you log into the 3speak desktop app? Is it proving difficult for you? Be Mindful of Love? Which is better, Minds or 3speak? I remember looking at Minds a long time ago, but then Minds kind of changed their business model from my understanding, and I haven't really explored it since then. And that was like back in 2019 or 2018, the last time I even looked at it. So I really can't say. But I haven't been hearing very much about Minds through everything that's been going on. You're the first person to bring it up, nothing specific. So I'm going to go ahead and say probably my community doesn't seem to be using it very much, or maybe it's just not extremely popular at this time or at all. It's a bear market, so to me it's incredible to see that Hive and Odysee do have such a substantial amount of users, daily active users, even though we're just basically talking about mostly Tornado Cash right now. And yeah, numbers been going up somewhat, but it's been mostly Ethereum from my understanding. Some altcoins have gotten a nice pump. I know like Hive got a pretty nice one, like what was it, a week or two ago, but they have not continued to move up to the same degree that Ethereum has, which has been the best performer. I mean, even today, let's take a look. Yeah, Ethereum's up 3.3%. It's just knocking on $2,000 door. And I think that's a psychological price point where once it breaks that, it's probably going to continue much higher. It might take a break, come back down to 2,000. And if 2,000 becomes a new support level, that's pretty bullish for me. But even Bitcoin has been doing quite nice. It's up 5.6% on the week. But damn, look, it's almost at 25,000 bucks. But yeah, I mean, Ethereum is just one of the top performing ones. It looks like, oh, Solana. Wow, Solana's had a nice week as well. I must have missed that. 15.9%. That's another Ether. That's basically Ether, up 16.7%. Ether Classic, part of this whole story, up 16.1%. No idea what OKB is, funny enough. but that seems to have had the best week, 23.3%. Um, but yeah, there's something to be said about Ethereum kind of dragging up the market this entire time. Yeah, it's because of inflation and the lower print that we recently had. Yeah, it's the macro story as well, but it's really the merge. I think it's one of the things that's giving most optimism here. But it's not driving everyone back into watching and consuming crypto content, not that I've seen just yet. It could be the story, but it's just nice to see that these communities are so active in these times when we're in a bear market, or overall it seems like we're in a bear market, or we just don't have the tourists around at this point. It's really the most hardcore believers and those who stick around, those who tend to benefit the most, who are here during the dark crypto times. And it's nice to see the platform still have users checking out my content here. So maybe I will be back. We got 14 concurrent viewers right now, which is not too far off what I had on YouTube. But yeah, still up in the air what I'm going to be doing. I would like to get back to my regular content maybe next week if that's possible. And I'm thinking it will have to be on that new YouTube channel, which again, I haven't really shared. I'll be sharing it in the description if you want to check that out, or I'm sure you'll find it later on. I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, if you were me, what would you be doing? Or what would you prefer to do if you want to be consuming this content and you do want to support? Or what makes it easiest for you? Let me know, and I'm super interested to continue hearing your feedback as we go forward here. I'll finish with the quote of the day as we do. Do you have to create a Hive account to upload videos to 3speak? I'm not entirely sure. I signed up using my Hive account and linked that to my email address. So that's pretty much the only road that I had explored. But if someone can answer that question for Be Mindful of Love, that would be great. Someone on Hive. And if not, ask me next time, Be Mindful of Love, and I'll try to get back to you if someone fills me in on that on maybe Hive or somewhere else. Like the news runs downs. Yeah, that's what I want to get back to. And that's my main content, of course, which is why it's so surprising, Curb Shifter, that YouTube did what they did. I mean, just covering cryptocurrency news, I don't see how that is promoting Ponzi schemes or promoting things that are scammy or spammy. Yeah, there are scammy and spammy elements within crypto overall, but the industry is not those projects alone. There's a lot of good that's being done here, and there's a reason even central bank digital currencies are being explored and nations have explored these things. It's not because they're valueless, and unfortunately, the people who reviewed my YouTube page seem to have had a bad taste in their mouth for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, we'll finish with our quote of the day, as I mentioned, and thank you again for supporting my content and letting me know where you think I should go from here. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need tomorrow. Robert too. This is something that I've been trying to really own more and more of, is that I've been having a lot of struggles recently, especially if you've been watching my content, my newer content, since I started my new YouTube channel, my older new YouTube channel, and I had gone through some of my recent trials and tribulations, and things have not completely let up for me yet. But I'm always hopeful. We always have hope at the end of the day that things are going to get better and that we get stronger. Really, that's what we can hope for. Is that in our lives? This is something Elle told me, my partner, yesterday, that she grew up hearing from her father that life is really about strengthening your mind, strengthening your spirituality, and strengthening your body to prepare for what life is to bring you. And I think that was something really powerful to have been taught from her father, and something that I'm being forced to face really on a deeper level every single day, because life, and as you know already, is not easy and it gets harder. So it's important to strengthen and toughen ourselves up. So don't feel complete pity for me. I think that some good should be coming out of this. And I'm just so grateful to have so many of you still here supporting me and engaging. And so many newer people that I had never engaged with who have also come out to support me. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for joining me today. I wish you all the best, and I want to see you guys succeed. And I don't want you guys to have problems like what I'm going through. So hopefully you learn from some of my mistakes to carry yourselves forward and build yourselves forward in the best way, and to help guide your favorite content creators and so on as we figure this out together. Take care, everyone. Much love, and stay cryptic. Peace.